Let's try a little thought experiment. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and your business is just gone. No customers, no products, no income. What do you do? Well, today we're digging into a really fascinating blueprint that lays out a plan to rebuild a profitable business from the ground up in just 90 days.
I mean, that's pretty much the nightmare scenario for any entrepreneur, right? The source material we're looking at today starts with that exact fear. It leans right in and asks the question, when everything falls apart, where in the world do you even start?
And the answer it gives isn't just some vague, fluffy advice. Nope, it's a concrete, step-by-step, day-by-day plan. So let's jump in and see exactly how this thing is supposed to work. Okay, so the entire 90-day plan is built on a pretty straightforward 4-step framework.
The logic here is really simple, and it makes a ton of sense. First, you've got to find a model that actually works. Second, you need to get cash coming in the door, fast. Third, you build the daily habits to keep it going. And finally, you create systems so you can scale up. Let's start right at the beginning, finding that model and getting your first dollar.
All right, phase 1. This is all about your first 30 days. And the mission here is simple and honestly a little ruthless. It's all about speed. You have to forget about perfection. The only thing that matters is getting your very first paying customer as quickly as humanly possible. The big idea here is to start with what the blueprint calls a cash now business model. This is not the time to invent the next big thing. It says you should sell a skill you already have, create a super simple product that costs basically nothing to make, or offer a local service. The goal isn't to build your dream company on day one. It's just about getting revenue flowing immediately. But look, an idea is totally worth this until you know someone will actually pay for it. This is the step where so many people trip up. So before you go building anything, the plan is really clear. You have to validate it. Use free tools, check what people are talking about on Reddit, post a simple offer on your social media, just see if anyone bites. Seriously, this step alone could save you months of wasted time and energy.
So how do you actually make that first sale when you have zero marketing budget? Well, the strategy is all about leverage. You pre-sell your idea to create some urgency and get cash up front. You tap into your existing network, people who already know and trust you. And you go to platforms where customers are literally already searching for solutions. No cold calls, no expensive ads, just smart, lean tactics.
Okay, so let's say you've made a few sales. That's awesome. But it's probably been pretty chaotic, right? Phase 2, which is your second month, is all about taming that chaos. It's time to build the kind of disciplined routine that creates real, sustainable momentum. The blueprint lays out this simple but really powerful daily structure. You spend an hour in the morning on growth, that means fighting new customers. The afternoon is for execution, actually doing the work. And then the evening is for strategy, learning from what happened during the day and getting smarter for tomorrow. It's this constant cycle of sell, build, refine.
A daily grind is great, but without some direction, you're just going to run in circles. And that's why the blueprint adds this weekly rhythm on top of the daily one. You use your Sunday to plan the attack for the week ahead. You check your revenue midweek to see what's actually working, and you're constantly learning. Think of it like a weekly CEO meeting with yourself.
So you've got cash coming in and a solid routine. But here's the problem. Right now, the business is you. If you stop working, the money stops coming in. The final phase, from days 61 to 90, is all about fixing that problem. It's about building systems so the business can grow beyond just your own personal effort. And here are the key levers you're supposed to pull to make that shift. First, you automate all the boring, repetitive tasks to buy back your time. Second, once you're making at least $1,000 a month, you hire a virtual assistant to handle the stuff you shouldn't be doing. Third, you get out there and network to open up bigger opportunities. And finally, and this is the real engine of growth, you reinvest half of your profits right back into the business. That is how you turn a side hustle into a real asset.
So, that's the plan, but what kind of results can you actually expect if you follow it? Let's take a look at the specific milestones the blueprint sets out.
This is basically the scorecard for your 90-day sprint. Each 30-day checkpoint has a really clear financial and growth target so you know exactly what you're aiming for every single step of the way. So the first big goal is to hit that $1,000 mark within 30 days. And honestly, this isn't even about the money. This is about proof of concept. It's that moment you prove to yourself that your idea isn't just an idea, it's a real, viable business that somebody is willing to pay for. By the end of month 2, the goal is to double that. Hitting $2,000 proves that your first success wasn't just a lucky break. It shows that with a solid routine, you can get repeatable results, and that is the foundation of any stable business.
And then, by day 90, the target is a business that's generating $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Now, at this point, you've achieved something pretty incredible. You've built a repeatable system for making money. This is that magic moment where your hard work starts to transition from a personal grind into a scalable enterprise.
And this is where the source material we've been walking through takes a really interesting turn. It kind of pivots from just laying out the blueprint to making a very direct offer to anyone who wants to actually put it into practice.
And we're sharing this with you exactly as it's presented in the source. It's a straight-up invitation for one-on-one mentorship, and it's backed by a very simple guarantee. If you don't get results, you don't pay.
Which really brings us to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? The blueprint is laid out, it's clear, it's step by step, and the source material ends by turning that question back to the reader, and now, back to you. The plan is here. The only question left is, are you ready to follow it?